Have you ever wondered what it's like to live on the island of Maui? Yeah, it's one of the most beautiful places in the world. We've got beautiful beaches, lush tropical forests, waterfalls, and we absolutely love living here, but it's also a challenging place to live. It's not always easy, and in this video, I'm gonna go over the top 5 pros and cons for living on the island of Maui. I'm gonna give you the inside scoop on what Maui real life is really all about, and I'm also gonna go over why out of all the Hawaiian islands, we felt like Maui was just the right fit for us. Aloha, I'm Josh Feyen with MauiRealLife.com. Several years ago, my wife and I, along with our 2 daughters, we packed up everything, put it into shipping containers, shipped our cars. This is gonna be my personal take on why we love living here and a few of the things that make it a challenge. There are a lot of great reasons to live on Maui, but my number 1 pick has to be the climate. It's the beginning of February and it's in the 80s and it's a beautiful sunny day. You just cannot beat the weather. Typically throughout the year, we're sitting in the 70s, mid 70s to mid 80s, and even in the summer, when it gets hot, it's really only maxing out probably in the low 90s. And it's gonna be warmer in some parts of the island than others. We live upcountry, so up in Coldwell, the temperature is going to be 5 degrees cooler. You can also choose to live up in Kula, which is higher up in elevation, and you're probably going to have temps that are 10 degrees colder than what you would have on the coastline. So there are options. You can kind of pick your climate here, which is amazing. Number 2 pro is going to be cultural diversity. We absolutely love the amount of diversity and rich cultural history there is on the island. We feel like it's a true melting pot, which we really appreciate. And we've found that we've made friends with people from super diverse backgrounds, people from South America, from different European countries, from Asia, just from around the world. And everybody seems to get along really well here. There's that Aloha spirit, a spirit of community. People want to help each other. It's truly amazing. We love raising our kids in that kind of environment. Our kids are learning both Hawaiian and Japanese at school. We just love it. Actually, that's an interesting fact. Hawaii is the only state that has 2 official languages. And so if you're a person who respects and appreciates diverse culture and that richness, you're gonna love it here. Number 3 is the outdoor lifestyle. There's just so much to do outdoors. Almost everything that happens in our day-to-day lives is going on outdoors. So when we go to any type of event, whether that's a concert or going to like a kid's birthday party, almost everything is outdoors. Which we really appreciate. It's something that we couldn't really do comfortably in Bellingham where we used to live. And so we love being able to get outside. There's farmers markets running throughout the week, flea markets. I go once a week down to Kalama Park in Kihei and go play hockey outdoors. It's really fun. So there's also, all the other things, sports and stuff that you want to do, or if it's just walking the beach. But yeah, you've got all the ocean sports as well, surfing and windsurfing, snorkeling, sailing, freediving, if you're into hunting and fishing, or just the standards, golf, tennis, and everybody's favorite, pickleball, which I still haven't played yet. Number 4 pro is the healthy living, and this goes along kind of with that outdoor lifestyle. Hawaii was recently ranked number 1 as the healthiest state. We've got super low disease risk factors, and most of the people are engaging in this healthy lifestyle. We have the longest life expectancy nationwide, and I think part of that is it's the opportunity for healthy living. It's the opportunity to get outside and have an active lifestyle. It's the opportunities for healthy eating. We've got fresh fruits and vegetables pretty much year round. We actually grow our own food, or try to grow lots of food in the garden. And we do that year round. We've got fresh lettuce and tomatoes and everything going right now, and it's February. We'd love to go to the farmers markets. There's lots of fresh fish. If you're familiar with it, we're also home of the Maui Nui venison. So we really appreciate that, and we love the healthy lifestyle here. Number 5 is, for us, we felt like the size of the island and the population was just right. We love it here for that reason. It's about the same size as the county that we came from. Not too big, not too small. Maui's population is right around 165,000 people. The biggest city is Kahului, which is around 30,000 people. There are lots of visitors here, but it doesn't really outweigh the number of residents on a day-to-day basis. What we found is that Maui has all of the amenities that you need and kind of none of the stuff that you don't need. You've got Costco, Home Depot, Lowe's, Target, Whole Foods, Walmart, and then you've got all these specialty stores down there that will outfit you for landscaping or furniture, whatever you need. We've kind of got it here, which is great. When I say the stuff you don't, I don't really need like a bunch of bougie shops like they have in Honolulu, but you can always fly over to that island if you need more. But we've also found that Maui is a lot smaller than Oahu, and that ends up being a great thing because you don't have all of the traffic and people and just like the congestion that you would have on Oahu or in Honolulu, which has over 1 million people. So substantially larger, like 8 times larger than what we've got here on Maui. But at the same time, it's not so small. Like you go to some place like Kauai or the Big Island, it seems like you really have to drive long distances to get things, or you're out of stock of more products and things like that. I could go on. There's lots of reasons to love Maui. I'm sure I could come up with a bunch of other ones. I'd love to hear from you guys. Drop your favorite reasons in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Now we will get into the cons. As I mentioned, it is not always the easiest place to live for a variety of reasons. It's a common expression that Maui either takes you in or it spits you out after the first couple of years. And I'll dive into why that might be with my top 5 cons for living on Maui. All right, number 1 is the obvious one, and so we'll get that out of the way right away. Maui is expensive. And it almost goes without saying, it's going to be on every list out there, but I'll give you some of the details. The number 1 expense is going to be your housing. The average home price just hit a new record this past month at $1.3 million. The average condo is running around $850,000, and rentals are expensive too. So you've got all those factors going into it, but then when you go to the grocery store, food is going to be expensive. A gallon of milk is going to run $5-6 versus, it might be a half or 3/4 of that price somewhere on the mainland. So food, we probably spend, I don't know, probably around $1,000 a month just on food. I typically try and make it to Costco once or twice a month. That bill will run on average probably $400 for a trip to Costco. And then we're probably spending on our vehicles and gas, we're probably spending at least between the 2 vehicles, probably around $400 a month for that. So all the little things do add up. All the things that have to ship to an island in the middle of the Pacific cost extra money. And then it's the same way for if you're working on your house, building materials, cost of labor is all high. And then your utilities. Electric rates are the highest in the country. So our average utility bill for electricity on a small 3-bedroom house was starting to get up there around $300 a month. We did just install solar, so we're hoping to see that go to almost nothing. We have solar with battery backup, and that's a great option to kind of cut expenses, but there is a front-end expense. Moving on to number 2, con is going to be the limited job opportunities. We don't have any single major employer or sector that has high-paying jobs here on Maui. Most jobs are going to revolve around tourism. They're not all going to pay that well. You do find that lots of people here are running a side hustle or have a second job. There are some job opportunities in healthcare, government jobs, construction, business services, but the people I talk to typically feel like they're still underpaid or have other difficulties in the job. Even with the job opportunities that are out there, if you're looking to move to Maui, it's kind of hard to line up a job without being here. So that's something to keep in mind as well. All right, number 3 con is going to be the isolation. We are, as I mentioned, an island in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. So it's hard to get here. It's hard for friends and family to get here. And then it's hard to leave. So our shortest trip is probably 5 hours to the West Coast. If I'm going to go back and visit family all the way in Michigan, that's going to be probably 11 hours. It's going to be a very long day of travel. And so that can also prevent come and visit you. We do bounce around to some of the other islands for travel, but some people say that they do get kind of island fever where they're like ready to get off the island and go do something else. It also makes it hard to get some products. Lithium batteries is one example, but some specialty items can be hard to get to. All right, my number 4 con living here is going to be the traffic and the tourism. And the tourism, you know, we appreciate it and it supports the island, but it does get frustrating at times. And it just means that because it's a smaller island, we feel the impact when there is that influx of people coming and traveling here. It makes it more difficult to get around. If there's traffic or congestion, if there's an accident, you can sometimes get held up for hours. Certain places that you go are going to be super crowded and you just have to deal with that. Many of the restaurants, especially as we get busy with people visiting the island, you're going to need reservations. And so you kind of have to plan ahead for that. I found that there's really no good time to go to a place like Costco. But I personally like the hour before closing. That seems to be the best time to go. My advice on all of this is the best thing you can do is slow down, budget lots of time, expect a line anywhere you go, and just slow down and enjoy it. My number 5 con living on Maui is going to be issues with weather. So I know I said the climate was a pro, but with our isolation here in the islands and it being a tropical climate, we get some extremes both on the wet and dry end. So we've definitely had more frequent dry seasons, and that's added to wildfire risk and drought. And that's likely to be an issue that continues on, particularly through the summer months, summer and fall. It can be rough, and that leads to water shortages and things like that. The tropical climate also lends itself in the other direction to tropical storms and hurricanes. So you have to be prepared for that. It can result in super heavy rain. We've seen flooding, and sometimes that can last for days. So you're gonna have to have an emergency kit at your house. It can sometimes knock the power out. It also is an added cost for your housing. All homes with a mortgage will require hurricane insurance. That's it. That's my top 5 pros and cons for living on Maui. I'd love to hear some of your thoughts, some of your pros or cons. Drop them into the comments. If you're looking to buy or sell on the island of Maui, I'm here for you. Please reach out, contact me by phone, email, or shoot me a text. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe for more great videos on Maui coming up.